For my underdogs, the ones willing to pay the cost. Even when we're up, we gotta take a loss. Underdogs are always against the odds. I'ma use this opportunity to do it for my underdogs. I'ma do this for my underdogs. I'ma do this for my underdogs. I'ma do this for my underdogs. Yeah, my underdogs.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Rec Center Podcast. Kenny Edwards, joined here with my co-host Lorenzo Parham. Man, what's good?
Going on, Ken? How's it going, man?
I'm chilling.
Hey, we got a good guest, bro. This guest is a good follow-up to shout out to Ed Wiley. We had our last guest, Ed Wiley, man. Who like we both learned a lot about Ed Wiley and what made him stop playing basketball such at a quick time, you know. So we got a good follow-up guest to that because I want to know DeAndre story. I think D being a three sport athlete, he kind of lightweight, was. You know, when you're a 3-sport athlete, you don't know which sport you go. So people, 4-sport athlete, you don't know which one you're going to go. So people overlook you in one sport or the other. So we go get DeAndre's story, man, about how all of that played out and his whole background, because he came in the league, taking the lead by storm, and he wasn't there in the beginning. So I want to know, how did all of this happen? So Coach Dre, DeAndre Perteete, man, what's going on?
What up, man? Thank you guys for having me, man. You guys are doing a beautiful thing. This is wonderful for the town. You guys is putting out history and letting guys tell their story and everything. So I want to give big shots, big props to you guys too. Y'all doing big things. So man, I love it.
It's our honor to hear them stories, man, because oftentimes we go off what we know, what we assume we know, and what we saw in the news, right? We don't really know the full story, right? This
exactly.
Is the Rec Center 30 for 30 that we let the guy tell y'all story with, right?
I know. I wish it was a little bit later. I would have my dude say here and everything.
The Rec Center 30 for 30 is what it is, man. So, dude, Dre, great athlete, 4-sport athlete, right? Let's break it down, man, to what Rec Center it started at, and what was the first sport you got introduced to?
First sport I started playing was baseball. So I grew up in San Leandro. That's why a lot of cats heard of me later on. So I started playing baseball first, T-ball, then 8, then all the way up. Then I started playing basketball later in middle school, and then I played football also for the Crusaders. So I was pretty much playing football and baseball at a young age, and I took basketball up 7th grade at Bancroft. So.
Hey. Them Crusader days, man. Who was it? Dynamite, y'all biggest rival? Was it Berkeley?
Oh man, we still, 30 years later, we still talk that smack. One thing being a community, or being in the community and everything, those coaches and organizers, they failed us because that should have been an annual game every year. Dynamite Crusaders, you know what I'm saying? And they could have.
Slow down. Time out. See, I didn't play youth football. Football. So the Dynamites and Crusaders didn't play every year.
We never played, so it's always one of them things.
Wow. Different leagues. They was in different leagues.
We would have, man. So we, all it is just it's all hypothetical when we all talk, because they got stars, we got stars. We would have smacked them though. I don't care, any year, any team. Crusaders, we would have smacked them though, straight up. No, we had them dogs.
Hey man, shout out, man. Hey, so my guy he's a San Leandro Crusader. Mike Denard, he's a Crusader.
Mikey played Crusaders?
Mikey played Crusaders.
Mikey, yeah, we played together.
They played Crusaders. Yeah, they
Damon Jones.
Damon
Jones. Man, they all came over there. The whole little Ville.
But Mikey's so Oakland. I'm like, how you?
The whole Ville. They all came over there. Him, his brother. They all. You know what I'm saying? They all came over there. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, hey, but I want to tell you, I was smacked them. That would have been a game I would love to have seen happen.
Honestly, me too.
Me too. Because I'm mad that it didn't happen, because why we can't have these conversations when we go back. I look at other teams, talk about, man, remember we played y'all in 92? Like, exactly. To not have that and be so close to each other,
man.
They did a disgrace with that one. They did a disgrace with that. They should let you guys play. But What was it like? Because I remember when we played baseball, man, and we had to play the San Leandro All Stars District 4 tournament, man, at San Leandro Ballpark.
At the ballpark,
At San Leandro, was San Leandro League competitive though?
Not as competitive as Oakland. For me, because I stood out in that league. I batted 721 one year, top dog and all the whole thing in that league. So my benchmark was when I played against y'all, played against Oakland. Because they would never pitch me against the weaker teams, but so we play Oakland or any black team, that's when they would put me on the mound and everything. So that's where I was trying to have my benchmark. And I did good against Oakland All-Stars, but we would lose because we wasn't that competitive. And I think like my teammates were scared too, you know. They seen that whole Oakland myth, and they seeing, you know, niggas pulling up in box shelves and beat knocking, you know what I'm saying, and all that stuff. So, you know, they got a little shook on that. You know, that drove me. I'm like, okay, yeah, let's rock.
So hold on. So we tackled football, we just tackled baseball. Now we go to basketball. And then San Leandro, the main place people in San Leandro played was the Boys and Girls Club. Did you come up Boys and Girls Club in San Leandro?
James Harris, yep, right there, James Harris, Javon. So I never had a chance to play basketball at the Boys and Girls Club because I was always playing football and basketball, but as far as the teams, but I was always up there playing every day. And I look back at, you know, all these kids got trainers and all that stuff. That's where our training was at because we was playing basketball every day, all for hours. You know what I'm saying? Just in the gym playing 21, 2-on-2s, 3-on-3s. And you know what I'm saying? So I was doing karate up there. You know what I mean? I was doing the for real. I was doing a lot of different
fist fights too because you got
exactly.
fist fights too.
All that stuff.
You got them Oakland dudes coming out there acting like they run the gym, and you know I'm from Oakland.
Wasn't having that shit, but it was a good experience though overall because we all grew up together, and it was a competitive environment too because you couldn't be weak. And I look back at all the guys that played there, like we was some ball, like all of us did good for real, and it was a very competitive environment for real.
Hey, who was running it back then? Was that Mr. Payton? Was it Mr. Payton running Boys and Girls Club?
Not James Harris, brother. Okay. James Harris.
Okay, is that where you met Jay Ryder and ZP and all of them at?
Yep. Brandon, all those guys, Mike Bugs, Brian Thomas. We met. That's where we all. B.
Thomas from Castlemont. That Brian?
No. He went to San Leandro, and then he ended up going to DVC. You know, little BT.
Hey man, so we all grew up playing all these sports, man. But after a while, like football, baseball didn't become the thing no more, right? Did you play it all the way through high school?
So I remember, I actually did. I remember my junior year, I was at baseball practice, and this is after me playing basketball. I'm traveling all over the country, playing basketball and doing this. And I'm at baseball. I'm like, man, this shit is boring. I'm like, we doing the same stuff every day. Batting practice, infield, outfield, run a lap. Same stuff. So I that was it for me. I literally stopped playing my junior year. I was like, I'm done. And I had played since I was 7. So 7 to 16. I gave it up.
I was cool with baseball in the repetitions. It was just when they start throwing that curveball.
That changed the game when that ball started moving at you, and then you know what I'm saying, you gotta stay in there to hit it.
I'm not standing nowhere.
But we didn't get that. We didn't get those until we played white teams.
That's
like when I remember 14-15 at Greenman, it was still
cool.
2 pitches. You throw a fastball and a curveball.
And the curve didn't really have too much break on it. So you was
And
that's one thing I learned from playing with them is how to throw them. I had about 3 pitches, you know what I'm saying? So you learn that deuce, that curveball.
Yeah.
You learn a slider, or you learn I had a drop pitch, what I call. It was a drop pitch where it just dropped off. So yeah, you learn those different pitches definitely from playing with those guys.
I remember Coach Silver one time, Ken asked me, Coach Silver was, white guy, rich white guy, overseeing stuff, and he'd take us to the Oakland Oaks thing. And I remember I'm pitching, and he telling me, hey, do you know how to throw a split finger fastball?
Yeah.
Fuck is a split finger fastball?
Exactly. You know what that is.
Just tell me I'm doing it.
All I'm going to do is split my fingers and throw that bitch
fast as I can, right? Hey, that's just how we was. So that just lets you know what the different culture around baseball was. And me like you, Dre, I got bored with that. Like I got bored with it, and I had an issue. I was like, man, I'm done.
Exactly.
I'm done. But then
Exactly.
again, baseball was in the springtime, and I was ineligible. Came spring anyway, so that kind of
That's a
picked it
hard
for
difference,
me,
yeah.
man. That's a whole
Exactly.
other story. Hey, but what age range did you as a player jump into the AAU scene with basketball?
8th grade. We played. I was at Bancroft. We played against NorCal, against BP, Jules, Joe B, that whole crew. I was Juice, so I was like, I'm like, they're gonna know who I am. I ended up having 32 that game. Mr. Payton came to me after the game and was like, we're going to San Diego this weekend. Would you like to go with us? And I was like, hell yes. I was, because that's what I kind of wanted to happen, really, for real, because I knew who they were and everything. And I was like, I want to be a part of that. So ended up playing at a good game. Mr. Payton brought me on, and the rest was history. And I was a part of that crew. Because when we played AAU back in the day, it was either NorCal or the Rebels. You know what I'm saying? There was a couple other little AAU organizations, but we was the only ones that was the real deal, doing the real stuff. So, and we had the opportunity to do a lot of great things with that stuff and travel and play. We played against everybody, all the great players. We had a chance to play against everybody. So that was a great thing.
Hey, Ken, you hear this? He went to San Diego on 5 days' notice after going for 32. Come to San Diego with us, right? Free agent pickup. Come take this 10-day contract when you in the 8th grade, right?
Who did you steal shots from? Because I'm like, should you come on this team? You're gonna have to pass me the ball, bro. You the new kid.
Nah, you know what? And we only went out there like 7 deep. So we played. We played in 2 divisions, and we was playing hella games in that tournament. I remember us going to sleep in the vans on the way to games. It was fun though. We was playing, but it was a good opportunity though. But AAU was way different back then than how it is now. Like I'm coaching with the Soldiers, so I'm live in the flesh seeing the AAU scene now compared to how it is back then. It's night and day. It's completely different now. It's about money now. It's politics, politicals, money, shoe companies involved now. The game's completely changed.
The only thing I remember about doing all that traveling during youth sports is that was the only time you got to go swimming. We had no pool. It was like, they got a pool at the hotel.
They got a pool, exactly. They didn't let us go swimming until after the tournament. After the tournament, we could go swimming. Before, I actually did that. My first tournament going with NorCal and them to Vegas. First time going, we in Vegas. I get in the pool. I'm to put my stuff in the hotel room, and I jump straight in the pool. We had a game later that night. One of the worst games I ever played in my life. Leg was gone. Mr. Payton said he wanted to teach me a lesson, so I would never do that again. And it taught me a good lesson. I never did that again. That was all bad.
Back in San Leandro High Middle School, them days when you was in San Leandro Middle Schools, did y'all go to 8th grade or 9th grade in middle school?
6th to 8th. We was the first 6th.
So y'all was 6th to 8th, right?
Yeah.
So what was it like, man? Because I know after you play a summer with this 8th grade team, you got Jules, you got BP on there, yourself. You kind of want to keep that crew together, but here you is going to the 9th grade and they still in junior high school. I'm thinking of BP, still in junior high school.
We all grew up. We all the same class.
I know, but no, what I'm saying is you started like BP 9th grade was at Montero. He was coming to Fremont for JV. And you was actually in high school, right?
Yeah.
How did you keep that up? That the first to go the high school you went to your freshman year, and how was that? And then what was it like that summer coming back up with them dudes?
First I went to San Leandro High freshman year. And so I was actually playing, I'll back up real quick. I was playing Crusaders still going into San Leandro High. And then my first day at San Leandro High, I seen the football team and I was like, oh shit, I want to do this. I'm like, forget this kid stuff. I want this. So I went to my Crusader coach that same day in practice. I was like, I'm gonna try high school. And he was like, well, we'll see if you be successful, son. If you don't have any success, you're always welcome here. So I was like, okay, cool. We played tennis in high school and I had 5 touchdowns that game, my first JV game. 5. So I have 5 touchdowns, about 300 something yards rushing. But I was. Were
you at quarterback at that time, or were you at running back?
So the coach because I always played quarterback coming up for Crusaders. That's my position. And I always played multiple positions for the Crusaders because I could play anything: running back, quarterback, punted the ball, kick the ball, all that stuff. So I started out at quarterback. And the coach was like, I need somebody that can run because we're going to run. So he put me at running back. And that freshman year, I played running back that year. But what happened my freshman year, I got big head. I really thought I was on some big time shit at JV, scoring 5. Because the next game I had 5 touchdowns too. So now I'm like, I ain't got to do no work. I ain't got to do nothing. So the first 3 weeks of school, I had all Fs. Because I wasn't doing nothing. My dad had to come to the school, everything. He's going to break my face and all. You know what I'm saying? Like it was going to be all bad because I wasn't doing nothing. I'm like, man, they're going to look out. They're going to take care. Just on some dumb, ignorant stuff. And then, exactly. So I ended up being ineligible for basketball that year.
Wow.
So I was still playing with NorCal. We was finishing up our little part with NorCal basketball in our 9th grade year. And that's what happened 9th grade year.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Was 9th grade year, I know BP was at Fremont playing JV. Was Jules already at St. Joe's, Ken?
Yep.
Jules was at St. Joe's, right? So now we go into your 10th grade year. BP goes over to St. Joe's, right? And y'all just got through playing this summer. You still stayed at San Leandro your 10th grade year?
10th grade years was a little dicey. So I was at San Leandro. So now I'm playing varsity basketball, but not football this year, but varsity basketball because I'm in the loop. So I'm playing varsity basketball at 10th grade at San Leandro.
Was San Leandro good back then?
Nah, we was booty, man. It was me and Woodridge on that team that year.
Okay.
I was averaging 19. He was averaging 18 as sophomores.
That's like 95.
I think, because those.
That was exactly. Yep,
those the years San Lorenzo was good. Ken San Lorenzo had good.
Well, this is the year after them. This was the year we played the year after them. This was Eddie and Fonzo's. This was Eddie and Fonzo's year.
Okay, so this not Toby and them years, and this not their year.
No, this was Eddie. Eddie was the man. Eddie was unbelievable going into his senior year. He had already built up all the hype and everything. So, it was the thing to stop them. So, and we couldn't stop them at that time.
Hey, so lo and behold, you get, for lack of a better word, recruited to come to Fremont. You get recruited to come to Fremont, right? How did that play out with you leaving San Leandro and coming to Fremont? And at that time they had dogs on the hoop court and on the football field, right? What was this like? How did you
fresh off a state championship appearance?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. So how did you acclimate yourself into both of them lineups like that? Let's start with football first. Let's start with how you got there. Okay,
so it started with basketball. So San Leandro, I got in trouble on the basketball team, man. The coach, I got in trouble in school for some bullshit. The coach didn't have my back, so he kicked me off the team, right? So I'm all right, fuck, I'm mad, boom, trying to figure out what I'm gonna do. My AAU coach at the time, he was like, yo, Fremont got all of Fremont guys are leaving. You should go to Fremont. So I'm like, hell no. And I'm like, them motherfuckers is raw. Like, I don't want to go nowhere and be sitting.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, so I'm on my way to Skyline. I got the papers in hand to go to Skyline. I'm walking from the 82 bus stop to the house. And I see my boys, they go to Fremont. And they like, yo, we on our way to open gym. You want to come? So I'm like, all right, cool. So I go to Fremont open gym and I do my thizzle in open gym. Clint, hey man, what you gonna do, man? What school you going to, man? I'm at San Leandro right now, but I'm literally leaving that school. He was like, hey man, you should come here, man. Come here now, man. Register, do whatever you gotta do, man. Get here, man. And I was like, fuck it, I'll do it. You know what I'm saying? So I had my dad girlfriend at the time. She registered me into Fremont, and I came in there in the end of 95. I came in. A lot of people didn't know I was there, but I came there at the end of 95. So, for basketball. And then that's, like I said, as soon as I registered, that's when I went in the next day out to the football practice Coach, like I said, Clint didn't know I played football. And I went out there to football practice and did my thing out there. And then Coach Denny was like, yeah, we got a spot for you. Come on.
So was Denny and Clint cool with that?
No, I'm telling you. So Clint came. That was in the fisticuffs at first because, like, they literally was like, "You motherfucker," and Clint was like, "You know what I'm saying? Hey man, you coming up and taking my players again?" And so like they was in each other's face for real. So I literally, I'm there and I'm like, Coach, I'm talking to Clint like, Coach, no, I play football. I'm like, he didn't say like I literally did all that on my own because a lot of nobody really knew who I was coming from San Leandro to Fremont like that. So I had to.
So you get to Fremont the year I just left Fremont, right? I just left Fremont.
Oh, you tripping, boy.
Check, right? so let me tell you something, right? So you get there though, and you're coming in from Lou Fisher passing the ball 95 times, and you get acclimated at quarterback with this option offense you guys running, right?
Yeah.
What was like that, and how did you end up being the quarterback? I don't know who they had in the wing after Luke cut, but how did you come take the quarterback position from whoever was waiting?
Man, that's my partner, man. I don't want to. So I just say my man's was gonna be the quarterback next.
Who was that though? I'm gonna say his name if it come to my mind. It wasn't Tyron. Was it Tyron? It wasn't the white boy Justin.
No. Hell no. Justin wasn't even in the mix. For real. Not even close.
I don't know.
Just for history's sake, who was it? Just
Lee Long, my boy Lee Long.
But Lee wasn't Lee a Hooper. He's not a quarterback. Lee didn't even play the year before that.
He was set to be the quarterback. He had his hopes and everything. For real. So that's my nigga though too. For real.
My guy. Lee was the Bret Hart guy. Ken ended up going to Skyline.
And then Castle after that. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So Lee was gonna be the quarterback, left-handed.
Yeah. And then I came out. So I came out at first doing DB drills and doing my thing. Coach was like, okay. And I'm like, but I'm really a quarterback, coach. I play quarterback. So he put me back there quarterback. And then he was like, you got the job. And then, the rest was history that year. So, and then we had a raw ass running. We had, man, our running game was hella raw. Our defense was raw that year. Like we was.
So who were the guys on that team? Because we're like 96, right?
96, yeah. So we had my cousin Tion Fitzgerald at running back, Kiki Davis at running back. Who else?
You gonna forget the best one of them all? His name should have been first.
Who? At running back?
Jamario Oliver.
Jay Ali was our fullback. Yeah. Jay Ali was our fullback. Yeah. He was that's what I'm saying. Yeah. He was that's why I say we were like top 10 in the East Bay in rushing that year. And our defense was like
two or three. Really good defense. One of the things that it was, so you come that year. Your cousin was Tion came that year.
Yeah, from San Leandro too. Tion from San Leandro.
And then Dewey come in that year, right?
Yeah, from San Lorenzo.
They already
Fred and Josh came from San Lorenzo.
Fred, they already had Tabiti and Daryl Akins and them dudes there. They already had them dudes there. So
Walt Abrams.
And all of you guys just happened to come to Fremont.
yeah. A lot of it was coinky dink, coincidence. A lot of it was some we'll just say some nurturing, we'll say that. And then some of it was for basketball too, where we had guys that can play multiple sports well. And that's one of the things where it worked out because Fred and Josh, those was multiple sports athletes along with myself. So, and then, and a couple other guys, they did it, but they didn't really, go to college for it or anything. But we had a few guys that played multiple sports. Jay Ali was a multiple sport.
I didn't know the Shavies transferred in. I thought, because they went to Bret Hart, didn't they?
But
younger brother did. The younger brother did.
No, Fred didn't go there his 9th grade year, Ken. 8th grade, he was at Bret. 8th grade, he was at Bret Hart.
The 9th grade, he was at San Lorenzo.
9th grade. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, but
Keith was on his way to Marquise was on the way to San Lorenzo too, and then he came with them as well. You know what I'm saying? We probably wouldn't have been as good without those guys. Honestly, those was big help. They was big helps they helped out a lot. You know, those was big guys that was tough, and they pops was right there too. Shout out to Big Fred, R.I.P. Because man, Big Fred's one of the reasons why I do what I do too. You know.
Hey, before, because I'm gonna tackle basketball, right? But I'm gonna stay with this football first. In your first year at Fremont, you get hurt. Oakland Tech game, break your wrist, break your arm.
We up 42-6 too. Coach Clint was hella mad. 42-6. Yep.
Break your arm.
My wrist right here.
Your wrist. Break your wrist. Yep. Can't play in the Silver Bowl.
Nope.
Y'all lose 6-2. 7-2. Quarterback
still haunts me right now. I'm 41. It still haunts me right now.
Quarterback throws an interception on a flat.
Jay 1 minute left in the game.
Hey.
1 minute left. We up 2-0.
Do y'all win that game with you at quarterback?
Oh, everybody knows that. Yes. We win that easily because I'm running that. You know, I'm not throwing that. I'm gonna run it. Slide. I'm gonna slide. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not gonna throw that. And if I did throw it, it'll probably be completed, or at least incomplete. I'm not gonna throw an interception in that moment. So
we talked to James Thompson, who was back from college watching y'all play that game. Shout out JT. Shout out JT. And one of the things was it a bad play call to begin with?
You know, no, because it's something that we called all the time. It was just a bootleg, and he chose to throw it. He really was supposed to hold it. And
Really?
Yeah. So he thought he was open, and you know, shout out to Lepori, goddammit. He played the video for us too a couple months ago. But he took that interception, he grabbed it, took it to the end zone, ripped down the Fremont poster and everything. You know, I remember it. I'm on the sideline, livid, like just but he did what All-American does. He did what All-American's supposed to do. He stepped up at that moment and he made that play. We gave them an opportunity, and you know, he took advantage of it. But Jay Ali should have kept holding. But he wasn't really a quarterback.
He wasn't a quarterback.
Which is why you don't call a pass play.
You don't call a bootleg at all. You don't call a
bootleg at all.
I am giving. Listen to me, Ken. My defense is sending Skyline out 2-0. They cannot score on the defense, right?
Yeah.
I'm going 3 down, punt it, 4 down, punt it, put in it. It's a minute left in the game, Ken.
Yeah. I wouldn't have called a pass, especially if the quarterback is that quarterback.
Our defense has already been shutting down all game. You know what I mean?
Whole game.
That's overthinking. That's when coaches overthink it.
So
when you have Marshawn in the backfield and he throw a screen pass.
Well, that's political. That's political why they didn't give him the ball.
Absolutely.
Hey, so and the piggyback on that, now that we got back to it, you know, you guys come into OEL, takes it by storm. What was your take when you first got to the OEL? Like, because the OEL was the lead back then, right?
Yeah.
What was your take when you first got to that OEL? Y'all beat us something crazy both games, right? Both games. We wasn't really good. We didn't have a good senior class, but you guys still had to play against Oakland High because y'all tied them in the regular season.
Yeah.
Played Skyline a couple of times. What was your take on the OEL when you first got there?
Football wise, it was like it was wild. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was way different coming from San Leandro High because you got the energy is crazy in the crowd. You got, you know, we had one dude playing a drum and he playing every song. That's not, you know what I'm saying? Every song that's out there. So he's slapping. We on, you know, just the whole vibe and energy was different. And the play was more gritty, grimy. Like in football, Mac was always dirty. Like they pinching and pulling and rubbing and doing all kind of dirty shit. You know what I'm saying? It was just completely different. It was fun. It's great because we got stories to tell, and it was just something and also too, it was something for the town to do. Like back then, we was like the entertainers for the town, man. You know, for the hood, for the neighborhood, for everybody, because everybody had pride and everybody grew up in their areas. So you know, we was the ones to put on the show for the community, and it was beautiful. It was fun.
Did when you first got there, man, and you play Skyline, you play Mac, you beat tie Oakland High, right? Give me a couple people, and I ask this question all the time. You know, it's coming on the football side, man. That was an underrated player and an overrated player in the OEL when you got there.
That's a good question. Honestly, football, I didn't really look at stuff like that. More so basketball, I did because I just played football because I loved it and I was good at it. So I didn't really trip. I didn't really focus on other cats. But basketball, I can probably give you that.
Hold on, we
Football.
go hold on till we get to the basketball question, right?
Because I mean, honestly, Skyline was good. Like, I mean, all them dudes, they had a lot of dudes that went D1. So to hit on anybody on Skyline, no.
But you had Gino, who was a Fremont High person, and Gino said to him all the Skyline running backs was overrated because they had this line that was taught zone blocking, getting to the second level, and all of this stuff, right?
Yeah.
So do you feel like that was the reason for their success? Like, you know what, they kind of overrated because anybody can do that.
Yeah. Well, let's put it like this: Beam never lost a regular season OAL game, so we'll just, you know what I'm saying, we'll throw that out there. So they doing something correct. And they had a system, they had a program, they had coaching. So on that, I think they were light years ahead of everyone. Because physically, I think our team that 96 year was better than Skyline's team, but I think that they had better coaching than us that year, to keep it real. We had like pound for pound, our dogs was
better than theirs.
Yeah, I believe so, honestly. But they had better coaching. They were on some different shit when it came to coaching. We were still on the 32 dive, 34 dive, 22 dive, 34 dive, 22 dive. You know what I'm saying? We're going to pound it, and then we're hitting with option, you know, where, they were passing, they were throwing and everything like that. So for me, I can't knock what they were doing because that system worked. It's kind of like the New England Patriots. Can you really knock the players that did what they did in that system? Maybe when they went somewhere else, you can say it was different, but while it was in that system, that shit worked.
I think the difference between Dre's era and Gino's era, where they're coming from, is during Dre's era, the Skyline backs actually went D1 in particular.
Yeah.
The backs,
Jay Coop
and Gino's era didn't do that. So I think you can't really put that whole blanket that Gino put on them during Dre's era because those backs went on to the next level, whereas the backs in our era did not.
But do you feel like the backs in our era on that team goes D1 and do the same thing?
Hell yeah! Like I played with Jay Coop for Crusaders. Jay Coop, Jason Cooper, he ended up playing at Oregon. I'm trying to think of the other running back that they had.
Jay Charlin.
Come on, man.
Yeah, it was different dudes. You can't put Jay Coop and Jay Charlin on the same pedestal as D. Whiteside or
Roger.
D. Whiteside was good, but you can't say D. Whiteside was up there with Jay Charlin, or Jay Coop or Rob Grant. That's.
You probably can put him up there with Rob Grant. You probably can.
Rob Grant went to play, bro.
No, Rob Grant was better than Rob Grant. I don't know. I think Rob Grant, and this is where I'm with Gino, because I think Rob Grant runs for more yards if he's a starting back over Raj. He runs for more yards than what Raj did.
But Raj was
that's what we're saying. We're saying the same thing. I'm saying you can't put D. Whiteside up there with the guys that play running back during Dre's time.
But is that more system? Is what I'm saying.
Same system.
I'm about to say that the same system. Same system, ain't it?
So is it the backs being great, or is it the system making the backs great?
No, what I'm saying is,
if you put Mikey in that backfield, Mikey goes crazy. Mikey never had a blocking.
Mikey don't have speed. Jason Cooper had speed. Jason Cooper ran track. So Jason Cooper was one of the fastest dudes in his age group running track. Like how y'all interviewed my cousin Atari. Atari, he was one of the fastest dudes in his age group running track in the nation. So you put those backs in systems, they finna run their ass off.
If you put Atari on Skyline, Atari runs for 5,000
Atari runs for 3,000, exactly.
5,000.
Hey, but here's the thing, right? So we had Dante Marshall on here, and when he talks about, running backs he played against on OAL, Mikey was the first name he said. He was like, dude, you got to tackle this dude, and then sometimes he would run away from you because his speed was deceptively faster than what he was, right? Mikey was Eddie George, right? Mikey was Eddie George.
That's what he was. That's exactly
Mikey was. We called him Eddie George, right? He was tall and play like that, right? So, but we want to get off subject to this, right? We a couple of times you didn't have a football underrated. Tell us about Dewey Hale. A couple of times he came up as an underrated. Why do you think Dewey had this bad rep? overrated. Why do you think Dewey have this bad rap where people be like he's overrated?
Because he talked a lot. But if anybody pull up any film from his, I say junior year, he was smashing cats. LaCorey Collins came across the middle a couple times. I remember one. It was like one series. He smacked LaCorey Collins like 2-3 times in a row. They was trying to catch it. Bam, smacked him. Next play, they was trying to throw it to him again. Bam, he smacked him. Like he was like a human kamikaze out there on defense. So, and he talked a lot of smack too. So that threw a lot of cats off. But man, Dewey was solid, man. Like I said, he's another Crusader. Put that out there, and we played since we was 8 years old as well, and he understands the game. Yeah, he talked a lot, but he went to Cal. He could have went to other D1s, but you don't get to D1 by accident.
Not
you don't
Pac-10.
play in the Pac.
Yeah, not
you don't play in the Pac-10 by accident.
And play.
You know what I'm saying?
Like he played.
Yeah.
So you did 2 years there. You did 2 years at Fremont.
Yep.
Give me your starting secondary. Your starting secondary for Fremont while you there.
So I would definitely have to say Walt Abrams.
Where's he starting at? Where's Walt starting at?
He's starting at safety, strong, probably. Jay Webster at free. On corner.
Hold on, time out. Hold on. So you just didn't start Dewey. You just didn't start Dewey.
Hey, no.
Oh, here we go. Beep, beep.
No,
about to back it up.
No, because so Dewey can play. We can run a 4-4. We can run a 4-4, and Dewey can play up. So he was interchangeable.
No,
but he's
not starting in your secondary.
I mean, I was gonna probably put him. He can play corner too. That's like he played a lot of that.
Okay, let's back up. So I got to hear this whole thing.
Let him finish.
Who's the starting secondary? Right?
Okay, I'm going with secondary. I'm going with Walt Abrams. Like I said, Jay Webster, and then I'll put Dewey on the strong side, and I'll put
yourself at corner.
I could, but I didn't want to do that. But yeah.
Okay, yourself at corner. Yeah. So we leaving off Keon Davis.
No, that's who I would have put. That's who I would have put him if not myself. Definitely for sure, Kiki.
Okay, so Kiki, but with yourself in there, Kiki's the nickelback, right? You got Kiki nickelback.
Damn, how many DBs we got?
We running
a 4-4.
Leaving off Mario Vital. Mario Vital, don't make your
Mario. So Mario wasn't there in '96. He came in '97.
No, I said both of your years. Between both of your years.
Yeah.
Who's your starting?
So he took my spot at quarterback because I wasn't I told coach I wasn't gonna come back and play football that year. So then he went forward with Mario as the quarterback. So when I got back to football, I missed the first game of that season, our senior year in '97. And then I missed the first game. I came back and I was like, I want to play quarterback. The coach was like, I want to keep Mario in. I'm grooming him for the future. Mario didn't even really want to play quarterback like that. He wanted to play running back, receiver, because he played a lot of multiple shit too as well. I wanted to play quarterback because my boy Andre was playing this year at receiver, and me and him had a hell of a connection. So our offense would have went to a whole nother level because now I got a receiver I can throw the ball to now. So
that's crazy because it's two dudes y'all keep naming that I've been friends with for a long time and never knew they was good. Walt Abrams. We used to go to church together. He never talked about his foot. I didn't even know he played.
He was our captain. He's one of the.
I never knew. He never talked about it. Very humble.
Walt played Walt played when I was a freshman at Fremont as well.
And Dre, I hoop with Dre all the time. Dre never told me he was.
Dre was the truth, Ken.
He never told me he was good.
Dre was the truth. Dre was the truth.
Crazy.
But so these are the DBs you left off. Some really good ones. Good. I guess you couldn't go wrong, but you left off some really good DBs and Devlin Jackson.
Yeah, he was still a youngin still, but he could definitely be up there and hold his own for sure. No doubt about that. You got Devlin, Mario. See, them was youngins. There was 10th graders there. They was still young.
Kiki, okay. But I'm surprised, like me, and if I had to pick my Fremont defense just playing against them, I'm keeping Dewey at free. I'm keeping Jay Webb at strong safety. Jay Webb, we talked to JT. I let like Jay Webb was a bullet, right?
Yeah.
150-pound bullet.
150-pound bullet.
150-pound bullet.
So
and my two corners have been you and Kiki. You and Kiki.
Yeah.
I would have ate Kiki ass up, and we talk about it all the time. I would have told.
Would you have A Dre though?
Would you
have A Dre? Would you have A
Dre won the corner? Oh, what Dre?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah,
I mean.
You know what that means, Ken?
There you go. I love that. I want the 9. Hey, what did you say? I want the fade. I want the fade,
hey, but now let's go to the hoop, right? That first year Fremont, your first year was 96, 97, right? You come in who was the starting 5 on that team? Was you, Jules Milstead, Marcus Malone, right?
No, Marcus wasn't there in 96. Marcus came in 97. Marcus was at Skyline.
Marcus only did 1 year with you.
Yep.
Okay, only did 1 year. Who was the other guard, the starting guard with you?
It was either Elliott, sometimes Marquise would start. So you could say me, Jules, my boy Trev Carson, he started. And then we had this my boy from the hood, man, E. Morgan. He was the enforcer, we'll say. He was a straight hood. He was the only dude from the hood. We was hoop dudes. He was a real hood dude, for real from the hood. Coach, I got him out of juvie, as a matter of fact.
Or some shit.
He straight in. No, for real.
97. Did y'all win the OAL 97?
Yeah, we won it. Yeah, hell yeah.
Who did y'all beat? That's the game. That ain't the game where y'all beat Fremont. Who y'all beat in the championship? OAL.
We beat Mac. We beat Mac. We lost to him the first night, and then we smacked him the second night.
I'm trying to.
Yeah, I'm like 90s. You talking about your senior year?
Yeah, senior year. Yeah,
no,
my junior year.
No, your junior. No, be on your junior year. I'm sorry.
Okay, sorry. Junior year.
Y'all don't do that.
We lost to Mac. We lost to
Mac in the playoffs.
It was Mac. Yeah, we lost to Mac
in the playoffs, right?
Yeah.
And so you come into a guard into a guard lead, right? Because you got at that time is Julio over at you got Doug over at Mac. You got Julio. Ed Wiley over at Oakland High.
Big
you
guard.
Got Ben Hill at Castlemont. You got Ben Hill at Castlemont, and you got Marcus and John Tar and
Matthew,
Skyline.
The big brother Matthew was the man.
Matt Taylor, MT,
yep.
Matt Taylor.
He was the man.
Marcus Taylor.
Yeah, Marcus. Yeah,
Marcus Taylor, right?
Yeah, because Matthew the younger one. Yeah.
Now we get to this thing, right? Coming to the OAL for basketball, who have the totally different environment than football. What was that like when you first played OAL basketball?
Against Mac, first game, I was like, I ain't gonna say I was shook, but I've never seen nothing like that in my life. You know what I'm saying? As far as coming from, and I done traveled around the country and played, and I'm playing at San Leandro High now. I'm in the OAL, and it's like, wow, you know what I'm saying? So like, it's the real deal now, because you got, like, these cats are serious. These cats playing the energy of the crowd, the people that's in the crowd, so the energy was just like something I have never seen before. So you either got to barbecue a meal doing that, because you can't sit up and be amazed or tripping on that, because the game is coming quick. And like I said, our enforcer, he had got dunked on by Rashad York that game. R.I.P. to Rashad York. He had smashed on him so hard. And that woke me up real quick. Like, okay, like this ain't no joke over here. Like, you gotta bring it. So
this ain't San Leandro versus
not at all.
Valley.
No, this ain't San Leandro and Hayward. This ain't that game like this.
Cow High versus nah.
Hey. Nah, we got some, like they said, we got some real nigga shit going on over
here. And don't get to talking too much, because
that's what I'm talking about.
The crowd is like right on top of the bench.
That's you can't do it. Like, especially at Mac. You go to Mac. I'm talking to my boy. He like, Dre, blood, this ain't the place to do it.
Just go get that win and get up out of there.
They had this one dude, true story, this one dude, he was on America's Most Wanted. His name was Nate. You know what I'm saying? He's standing up there.
Nate with the
light-skinned Nate. Yeah, exactly.
Pimpin' Nate.
Man, so I'm killing. I'm hitting. I got like 20, and I'm talking to my boy. He like, Dre, nigga, this ain't the place, bud. Don't talk that shit. That Nate say, hey, nigga, number 5, nigga, you score again, nigga. We gonna whoop your ass, nigga. And he had like 3 dudes behind him. They was like this. No smile.
Let me tell you something.
Nothing.
They were dead. He was dead serious too.
I know they was. That's why I say his name. I know who he is.
He was dead serious.
I know who he was. Excuse me, R.I.P. But I'm saying, like, but that's what you was up against though in the OAL. Of course, I scored, but I understood, like, I'm not. I ain't finna be all flamboyant. You know what I'm saying?
Keep it humble.
Keep it real humble because them. I already heard about the lights getting shut out in that building, so I didn't want to experience that.
No one wants to experience that. It was a thing. The reason why it happened and all of these things, but that's nor here nor there.
So they had Nate and we had Tank.
Hey, but you guys did you, because in that league with some of them guards I named, did you go all lead that year? Did you go all lead that year?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, I did. Is that the year Jules led the lead in scoring, or did Ben Hill lead the lead in scoring?
Not sure, but George was our leader that year because I had came late off of injury from
football.
I missed preseason and literally came right for the OAL. Jules was already in the mix, and he was the man. So Jules was averaging like 20, I believe, like 20 something that year. So it's either him or Ben. Benny had a green light at Castlemont, so I wouldn't be surprised if he led the league in scoring that year. But Jules was probably up there. I know they was probably going back and forth every week, like Jules in front, then Benny in front, then Jules in front. So yeah.
Who were some of the underrated people or the overrated people in the OEL and hoop? You said you had some in hoop that was like that. Who was it in hoop when you first got in the OEL?
Underrated is Ray Holt, one of the most underrated players because Ray Holt could play. You know what I'm saying? He didn't look like it. But when you play against him, he got the size, he got the jumper. And I didn't realize that until I ended up going to college with him and spent a little bit of time with him at Yuba for a minute and just like tripping on his game. Like, dude, like he has a weird looking game. Not weird looking game, but it's a different style game, but he gets the job done. And it's like, you know what I'm saying? So he was definitely underrated.
Last episode, Ken told me Dante Campbell was locking Ray Holt up.
I never said that. I said,
what did you say,
I said Dante Campbell and Marshawn would be a battle.
Okay, but who was locking
I
Ray
could
Holt?
guard Ray Holt.
Oh, you locking Ray Holt up.
No. See, that's the thing. That's the thing. When I say, that's the thing about these arguments. When you say I can guard somebody, the audience takes that as you said you'll shut him out.
Shut him down.
I didn't say that. I said I can guard him.
You guard him like that's my man. That's my man. That's my man.
He not finna have a scholarship night on me. You know what I'm saying? I never said he's not going to score any points, bro. That's difficult to do.
But that's also the difference in our era too, though. Like if I guard somebody, like I don't give a shit who he is. Like I'm gonna foul out before you have a great night. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but I'm even one step farther than that. I'm not fouling out. You still not about to have a scholarship night. Like
exactly.
I'm buckling down.
I'm taking pride in my defense.
Yeah. You got to think too. I was really smart in high school. In high school, 9 times out of 10, unless you playing an All-American or something, those dudes only got 1 or 2 moves.
1 or 2 moves, exactly.
So if you're a smart player and you're not just depending on straight athleticism, you're gonna figure out what them 1 or 2 moves is, and you just take that away. That's a smart defender right there. That's
take one away. You ain't taking both away. You can take one away. You taking one away.
Dude, real talk. Most dudes in high school can't dribble with their offhand. More than 2 dribbles.
That's why I say their hand. You take that hand away.
2 dribbles with the left hand, and they're gonna pull up.
I don't know. Marcus Malone was real slick with both hands back then.
He can pull up.
That's why I said unless. You know
unless you Marcus Malone, right?
Okay. And he can shoot. Marcus can shoot. Marcus can shoot.
Right.
P40.
But I wouldn't be guarding Marcus Malone.
P40 unguarded. So give me who you feel was overrated.
Overrated. Honestly, in our league, we really didn't have nobody overrated because we wasn't looked at like that. We had a lot of guys that had talent.
15 minutes ago, you said you had a guy.
You had a guy.
15 minutes ago, you had a guy.
All right, overrated. Let me see. Gotta go with a Skyline guy. Overrated.
Hold on. Time out. Hold on.
Yeah.
You gave MT his props. I'm doing a process of elimination. Marcus got his props. We not about to say Jabari was overrated because I got Jabari on my underrated list.
That's my cousin.
Who are you saying is overrated?
Well, B Beard thought that he was the man, so he put a lot of pressure on himself. So I felt that because he feel, and that's the reason why I feel B Beard was a little overrated because he feel they beat us the first time he played. Second time we beat them, this is senior year. Second time we beat him, he didn't play. That was to win the chip, and then they lost to Mac to play us in the championship, and they lost. You know what I'm saying? So
was that the game that was on Sports Focus? The one y'all played Skyline and John Tar?
Yeah. Oh yeah, both of them was. The game was big. We had to play both of them at Laney.
At Laney, it was.
Yeah.
I just saw that highlight to this morning. Actually, somebody had it posted. I just saw it this morning.
Yeah, they
did. A lot of dunks in that game, and I watched Trevor Carson come and swat somebody all the way to the crowd.
He gorilla blocked that shit. He like put his whole arm on that.
all the way to the crowd. In that year, y'all had Eric Rosby on that team. How did y'all add him to y'all team?
Man, he came from Emory High School is all I know. All I know, we was in practice, and all I know, I seen a 6'7" light-skinned young kid come in there. Like, man, where he come from, coach? Coach was like, hey man, you guys meet Eric Rosby, man. Rosby, man.
So what year did y'all win it? Because y'all didn't win it in 97. Y'all didn't win it in 96. Did you win an OEL title? Championship?
We won OEL. Yeah, we won OEL championship in 97, our senior year.
Won it in 97.
Yeah, we won it our senior year.
I won it in 97. But the year Brandon Beard didn't play was 96.
No, B Beard played 97. Yeah, he didn't play 96, but he played 97. He just got suspended one of the games against us in school. The second time we played it.
I hope you played twice.
Okay. So y'all played MAC in the championship then. Your senior year.
Yeah, senior year.
Yeah. Okay.
And Ohio. So Skyline it was St. Joe's ranked number 1 in Northern California. We was ranked number 2. Skyline was ranked number 3. So Skyline was supposed to beat MAC that game, but Matthew got hurt. Matthew broke his arm that game.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And Skyline still lost. Skyline lost. So my thing, B Beard, if you was that guy, y'all should have won that game still, and we should have seen y'all at the chip. So that's why I said
that was a good little playoff run, because that next game y'all played against Galileo and Lenny Walls and them, right?
Yes, sir.
Y'all played against that team, and y'all almost blew it, right?
Almost blew it.
What's the story behind this game?
They was up by 19, or 20.
We was?
Yeah. They was up by like 20, and Galileo came back, and Dre hit the game winner.
Yeah, we did. I got the video for that. Anytime the kids get to talking smack, I always show them that old school video right there. But that was one of the best games I played in college, high school, even after all that stuff, because I'm telling you, it's about maybe 10 dunks that game. Like, we started the game off with a dunk, then they came down and dunked, and then you got the Oakland San Francisco rivalry going on. So
all time, right?
Oh man, that's what you saw. And then you got the Wall brothers, Lenny and Kenny. Shout out to them. They did their thing. And it was a great game all the way through. They did fight back. I didn't know we was down. I didn't know we was up by that much.
Y'all was up by dub, and you hit the game winner
right at the elbow.
Who did y'all play after that? After y'all won that game?
We played Merced. Merced.
And if y'all would have won, y'all would have played Vallejo or St. Joe's.
No, we did win.
Oh, y'all did win.
Yeah, we won that game.
Did y'all end up playing St. Joe's or Vallejo?
St. Joe's in the NorCal.
In the NorCal.
Yeah, and then I ended up catching 100. I had a flu, so I played the game with 100-some degree temperature, 100 degree some fever and shit. So we lost that game. I believe if I would have been right, we would have won that game, even with the seven Division I players on that team. We still would have. I think we had the better team, but that's, they got us. They won. So, you got to tip your hat to them. They got us in NorCal and ended up getting smacked by Crenshaw, which my boy played for that team in Crenshaw. I told him, because Crenshaw won the state the year before. So I'm like, we coming for that title.
Come on, Jason Hart?
No, not Jay Hart. My boy Brian. My boy B.
Jay Hart was a cold boy.
Jay Hart graduated in 95, I believe. But Jay Hart was the real deal. Jay Hart was the real deal.
I thought Jay Hart was the one that kept serving against Ray and them. He was before that? I could be wrong.
I think Jay Hart was not, because they went to the state 2 years in a row. Okay. Grant Crenshaw.
Hey, if you had to pick your perfect backcourt mate, right?
Yeah.
Who are you picking? I'm giving you a list of people. And you tell me why you pick the person, right? You got your pick, your perfect backcourt mate: Marcus Malone, Ed Wiley, or Jabari Gilbert. Who would you pick to be your backcourt mate?
I would say E. Wiley.
Why you pick E. Wiley over them two?
out of that list because size and Iwali because I'm a scorer and I always played with and it was smart. I always played with a real point guard. So that allowed both of us to be able to switch at everything. So Iwali, I know he can. Not saying that the other two can hold their own, but I wouldn't have to worry about him with Ed because Ed got that size. He gonna play some D, and Ed gonna get his. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be able to get mine, and we're gonna feed off that. So, and I never got a chance to play with Iwali either. So I would say that I played with Marcus. Jabari, my cousin, so I already figured with how that'll work, but I never played with Iwali though, so that's why I said it out of that list.
Did you and Marcus Malone ever like get into it about shots? Because I know
no, because I know
he could put them up.
Yeah, he can. I played, so we played together in NorCal too. Well, he was in a younger group with us, so I already knew what he was about. You know what I'm saying? What he was on and everything. So I was always about team, man. So let's win. Because if it's his night, let's get it. If it's my night, let's rock. If it's Jules' night, let's get it. If it's Trev's night, let's get it.
Okay.
And that's the same way how I coach too. I tell my point guards, you got to be comfortable with getting 2 points, but able to get 30.
Okay. So you probably made it work because I don't know if he says the same thing. I never asked him or talked. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's just my assessment.
Ken, Machiavelli is getting his shot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's how it seems. That's how it seems, at least.
Hey, Machiavelli is going to the stat sheet. Hey, how many points Dre got? Dre got 15.
That's my perception of him.
How many?
But he can shoot though. He can shoot.
Yeah. No. To me, he has the best. Yeah. To me, he has the best jumper that I've ever seen.
Oh wow. Okay.
So I'm not gonna say he's the best, but that I've seen.
Yeah. Better than Eddie's.
Eddie House. See, I saw Eddie at Arizona State, and then I didn't see Eddie at Hayward.
But I'm not going. Marcus is lights out, right? And I'm still going to go with
Jabari.
Keith Wheelwright. I go with Keith Wheelwright.
Keith Wheelwright.
Just jumper, just shooting the ball.
Hey, Ken, that motherfucking jumper, it was automatic, bro. And it's like you can see. Look, if you get on Marcus' shot, if you can possibly block Marcus' shot, right? If you crowd his space, right, you can block it. But
he got a quick shot though.
I never seen nobody do it
because everybody playing off. All right, Keith, he's shooting over you.
You ain't gonna block Keith's shot.
You shooting over. He's shooting over you, and it was like.
So if we have a 3-point shooting contest, you'll take Keith over Marcus Malone, or are you just talking about straight game?
If we going from one spot, let's say we get them both.
Be multiple spots.
There's a lot of hypotheticals.
No, hold on, kid. We go 10 shots. I'm giving them 10 shots, right?
Yeah.
Regardless of where they shooting from on the 3-point line, regardless where they shot, he get 10. I would pick Keith.
Ooh.
I would pick Keith.
I thought you was gonna go with Jabari. I know that's your guy.
Jabari is my guy though. Jabari my guy, Ken, because he was a silent assassin. Like
that's what he was.
He was a silent assassin, man. So it's like you didn't know you got your ass busted till you look in the paper and be like, he had 25.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
But he was like efficient. So it's like 5 for 6 from 3-point line. Like ain't one of those things. And that's what I liked about Jabari game.
Yeah.
More so.
I got a question along the lines of the underrated thing. I feel like you don't get enough praise.
Yeah,
why? Because like your name never comes up. So why you think that is?
Multiple sports. When you play multiple sports, a lot of you're not known for that. Like the people that really know me, like they know I play multiple sports. So that is I'm not the hooper in their eyes. I'm not a football guy in their eyes. I'm not a baseball guy in their eyes. You know what I'm saying? So I'm more so athletic. So like even in the paper, my senior year, I made football for like all Bay Area for Mr. Utility Man and shit because I played hella positions. So when you're not known for one thing, when you're known for multiple things, you don't really get all that recognition. You know, so it's one of those type of things.
But your name come up all the time as being like the dog guard, right? Defense wise, like just having some dog in him. Your name do come up in that regards. But like Ken say, and then I think it's hit and miss. Like people don't know that you first team you all Metro your junior year. You and Jules and Brandon Payton. You and Jules, the only one from the OAL, all Metro your junior year, right?
Exactly,
But people look at the Fremont as a team and be like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Jules, Marcus, you know, and that's how that happened. Or even in football, like you say,
Dewey, Beatty, and them, you know, they all get the recognition, which is all good and everything. So, but my thing, you know, the people that play with me, they know what's up. You know what I mean? Like they'll tell you, and they know what's up. As long as I get the respect and people know what's up, I was good. You know, and that's back in the day too. So it's, you know, it's all good.
So Ken thing on the Fremont teams is this, right? This Ken thing. He feel 98 was the best Fremont team it was. Right, that didn't get to play. The team that didn't play. The team that didn't play. Armand team. He think that team was the best, right? Do that team beat you guys' team?
So I got two parts of that. So I asked Clint this question itself about our head coach. I asked him this question. So me personally, I think we smacks all of them. 97, I think we beat all of them. Me personally, I think so, because we got everything. We got guards, we got shooting, we got defense, we got bigs, we got multiple, we got 4 or 5 bigs.
You think y'all beat 96 team?
We beat 90. Yeah, we beat 95 team. Yeah, we beat 95.
Yeah, y'all beat the 95 team.
We beat 98.
They got everything. They got everything you just said as well. They
top heavy.
They top heavy.
95 is top heavy. We can bring in the second group. That's nice too, though, with Keith and them running the point with the Rocket. Like the Rocket, Rosby and them didn't start. Little Big Fred didn't start. You know what I'm saying? So
But when JT named his top 5, they had some guys that wasn't on that starting 5. The Zarek Payton, Z wasn't in that starting 5. And you bring Zarek Payton off the bench, you got something going on there.
I saw a face.
Like you bring ZP off the bench, and they still can flow. Like hold on, I'm gonna see if I can name. ZP,
ZP, I love ZP, but he only played a couple games for the month, so you really can't, you know, put him in it like that. He had the height and everything. But for real, you know, he only played a couple games.
Didn't ZP play in that state championship game? He played in
that
state game against Shea.
That was one of the couple games he played all season.
So if I take their starting, I'm gonna go. I remember they had Frank Knight.
Yep.
They had the guard Lefty.
I don't think Lefty started. I know Jay Will started.
Okay, so Jay Will, Rob Grissom, James Thompson, and Calvin Criddle, right? And Calvin Criddle. So I still get Lefty off the bench and ZP off the bench. I think that 7 definitely competes with y'all 7.
Yeah, I don't know, but like, you know, they only can, you know, Lefty's cool. He's athletic. He can dunk. But what else can we do? We got shooters. We got multiple shooters.
But do you see? Oh, that's a good question. Do you see Josh or Trev Carson stopping Calvin Criddle down low?
No, but I think I think we have more guards. Frank was bigger. Like Frank got a bigger size than us, but we were quicker. We were quicker than him. Like me and Marcus, one of us would have had a good game. You know what I'm saying? And then Jules would have been a wreck to deal with too. So, you know, they got Calvin, we got Jules, and Trev is down there blocking shit. I don't care who you are or whatever you are. He come in weak side, he blocking shit, and he catches stuff off the rim. So, and then, like I said, they shooting 2s, we shooting 3s. So, I mean, of course, they got all the fame because they went far, they did their thing and everything. So, but the Clint answer is 95 team is his best team. He said reason why is they won the games before they even played. People was already spooked and already scared, so they'll get up 20 in the first quarter and the first half real quick.
This is a good conversation, Ken, because then this goes back. Clint say his 95 team is his best team, better than his 99 team that won it, right? Yeah. Better than the 99 team that won it.
Yep.
Kind of a Coach Edwards type conversation, Ken.
But he's but 99, he said was they're right up there too. He said 99 is right up there with 95, but he was like he would have to say 95 because they won the game before they played. Like, you know, the motherfuckers was spooked.
So this is the good conversation is your coach says 95, then 99. Ken go 98, and you say your 97 beat all of them.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Do Fremont got an athletic page you can post this conversation to, Ken? I would love to see the Fremont players' thoughts.
Just put it on
conversation.
Facebook. They'll see it.
I would love to see the Fremont players' thoughts to this conversation because it's a good conversation. Ken think 98 was the best. I would love to see.
Let's just have an episode. Let's just do a Fremont Tigers 90s episode. I'm thinking about it now, Lo. I'm thinking about it now. Even though 99 won it, they might arguably be the weakest team in the 90s. Not to say that they are weak, because clearly they were not weak.
Honestly,
but they might
some of the teams that didn't win it, like some
might have been better.
Like 92 team, I think they was pretty good too as well. 92 team was pretty good. I think that was the team. So they had some. And that's one of the things in the 90s. We had some good teams, and our guard play was always good at Fremont. Like to be, you look at the history and through all the guards that played, they was official, and we all played a certain kind of way.
I think 99 just got the job done.
That's what it was. They did
get the job done,
and you gotta give it up to them.
Because
I give them much props.
They don't match up.
But if I'm picking
up with the other teams,
but if I'm picking, like, all right, Kenny, which one of those Fremont teams you want to play against for the title? I'm probably gonna take 99. I'll be like, let's play 99. I think
that's because they got it done. They got it.
No, I'm saying if I'm playing against them.
Oh yeah.
If I had to play against them, I'm like, shit, I think we got a chance against 99. The other teams, I'm like, no.
The 99 was good with Lance and them. With
they was good. We're not saying they're weak. We just saying the other teams were hella good.
98 was just a high flying showboat team, though. 98
was them motherfuckers was about to go undefeated, bro.
Oh yeah. No, they. So I got a funny story about that year if we got time. So Clint,
all the time.
They was just coming back from the meeting, right? Because Armand had just transferred. Benavides was hating. So Clint had to go to the meeting. So Clint walking with his keys back and forth like this. He got his box throw and everything, walking back and forth. He saw everybody coming. He's like, everybody in the room, man. I need everybody in the room. So Larry had got in trouble that day in school. He threw some water or something on the teacher. So he got suspended or whatever it was. He got in trouble. So everybody coming in. Larry's like, he coming in. Coach like, hey man, you can't come in, man. You got in trouble. Larry like, nah, coach, I'm coming in. Hey, Larry, man, I said you can't come in. You can't come in, man. Larry's like, nah, fuck that, coach. This is my team. I'm coming in. Hey, Larry, man, I'm from the old school, man. I will whip your ass, man. I'm from Castlemont. So they say Larry looked around. They say Clint looked around. They say the nigga Clint gave him 22 hot ones real quick, right? 22 hot ones. So they say Larry on one knee, he like this. So Fremont Gym is upstairs. So Clint took off running downstairs. They say Clint in the office, right? They say he had to been punching himself in the eye because Larry didn't get a chance to get a punch off. So Clint come back, his eye blacked up and everything. Clint come in the gym. He come back up 5 minutes later. He's like, hey man, I know you guys seen him hit me, man. I know you seen him hit me. Everybody looking like, nah, coach. He said, hey, Josh, man, I know you seen him hit me in the eye, man. Nah, coach, I ain't see shit. Hey, Josh, man, well, then it must have been you that hit me in my goddamn eye there, man. Because somebody hit me, man. Somebody hit me. And everybody looking like, nah, coach, we ain't see something. So, but to make a long story short, right? So they got into that issue. They had that problem. And then they came back and won the state the next year.
Hey, so, you know what? I never would have.
22 hot ones, man. Gave him 22 hot ones.
I thought he choked LG. I didn't know he gave him. I didn't know he.
No, that was Sprewell. Sprewell did that.
I thought it was part two though. I thought the same thing. I thought.
Nah, man. They say he gave him 22 hot ones, man. He took off running, man.
Oh shit.
Yeah, nah, Clint was a good X's and O's coach, but he wasn't a good people person outside of basketball.
Hey, So real quick before we talk about you coaching, I want to talk about what made you choose to go, like, you amazing athlete, two sports. I know you just said you went to Yuba and played basketball. Did you play football in JUCO too?
Nah, I never. I went to Cal football game my senior year. I seen how big them dudes was. I told my coach, I was like, nah, I'm cool. I'm not playing football in college. So I just ended up playing basketball. But I was at Yuba for a semester. I played a season. A semester at Merritt, and I ended up finishing at San Jose City College. for junior college. And then I ended up going to a small school in Minnesota, Southwest State.
Minnesota. Woo.
Yeah. That was a
What
good
was
experience.
that?
That's
What was
cold
that
as
like?
Missouri.
Minnesota.
Cold, but fun. You know what I'm saying? Like the hoop culture was nice out there. The college atmosphere was nice. And it wasn't really like racist out there because you're dealing with, I would say, a different kind of folk out there. You're dealing with like a lot of Norwegians and they're like, they're not really, you know, on that racist tip like that so much. You know what I mean? So it was a good experience. I did a lot of stuff out there that I would never do: ice fishing, snowmobiling, you know, just then cutting down a real live Christmas tree and things like that. So just a whole different culture experience than I, you know, from coming up out here. So
That's dope. I had friends in Missouri when I was going to school in Missouri with Low. I had friends out there that would try to take me hunting, and I'm like,
see, you should have went. Just
Drake, you ain't finna take me in the woods.
Yeah.
You think you might not make it back, huh?
Brian Dennehy. You ain't about to Brian
You
Dennehy.
ain't finna take me to the woods.
That's
bro.
Brian
Hey,
Dennehy.
you the game. You the game. All right, you better run now.
Yeah.
Hey, but Dre, who was your biggest, like, you know, Fremont and Skyline had a rivalry. Fremont and Mac had a rivalry. For you, which one was the bigger rivalry playing against?
Skyline.
And basketball and football, or just basketball?
Yeah, the basketball and football. Basketball and football. Because at the time, Mac was just on the rise in football. You know what I'm saying? And then basketball wise, they were cool, but like I say, D Tuck took that program to another level, and then he was still just a baby going into my senior year. He was only a sophomore, so you know that Mac they weren't there yet. But Skyline, that was our rivals. Like we would be at parties and you know what I'm saying, you know, doing all that stuff. And we over, you know, so yeah, it was a real rivalry. Real rivalry. I would say.
So do you think, and it's the infamous game that gets talked about all the time, Mac beating y'all in football in the playoffs? Do you think that was the Mac getting over the hump? Because you just said they was coming along, right?
Yeah.
Do you think they beat y'all in that your senior year in the playoffs, got them over the hump to kind of help start their shit?
Hell
what
no.
happened? Give us the background of that game, because E. Cole was like, man, who fault is that they thought they was gonna win because they set players down that game? Like, what happened and how did y'all beat them? What y'all beat them 19-0 in the first game?
Yeah.
And
I'm 3-0 against Mac. I put it out there like that. So that playoff game, I didn't get my physical. So this was my fault. I messed it up. Real talk.
What you mean? Time out. You didn't have a physical the whole season?
Yeah. So I messed it up. So the day before the game, I was supposed to get a physical. I didn't get the physical. So that's one of the reasons I sat that game. I played that game, we win. We had Dewey at running back. Dewey played running back maybe once for Crusaders when we was up. He was probably like the third string.
Keon didn't play?
Nope, me and Kiki didn't play that game. You take that away. That's why they won. They only won by either 12-6 or 13-6 that game. We couldn't score.
Oh,
sorry about that, fellas. Yeah.
Hey, so you know, that's what the way E. Cole made it seem as if y'all beat them 19-0 and you guys tried to rest players because y'all wanted to get ready for the Silver Bowl against Skyline.
Nah, that wasn't it. I think Kiki was hurt and I didn't handle my business on the physical side. So I messed that up and we ended up losing that game. There's no way me and Kiki play and we lose, and we never lost those guys before. So now I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna tell you, I got the G4 information. Coach Zoe didn't think that they was gonna even win that game that night. I mean, he didn't even think they was gonna win the game that day. He didn't even think that they was gonna win. He went because they never beat us. You know what I'm saying? So when they beat us, that was a big spark, a big start. But I think for Mac, after 99, 2000, I think that's when that program really took off for my climates.
When they made Zoe the head coach.
Yeah.
When they made Zoe the head coach. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's one of the games we wanted to talk about, because that game be sparking all kind of conversations on Facebook and arguments.
My God.
and it's going there.
Yeah, man. So man, it's frustrating because, like I say, I didn't handle my business in that one. But if I would have played for sure, we definitely would have got
How
that
do
one.
you play a whole season without the physical, without Coach Denny knowing this, or who checked the books? Like
that was also me trying to be slick. I knew I didn't take my physical that year, but I'm like, they're not saying nothing. I'm gonna keep going. They didn't say nothing. I'm gonna keep going. And then when it got time for me to do it, I was immature about that, man. Now that I look back, I didn't handle my business. And I'm saying it cost us that chance. We was definitely supposed to be back at the Silver Bowl to play Skyline, and we was gonna get them.
Y'all had a good. Which defense was better to you in your eyes? The 96 defense or that 97 defense?
No, 96 by far. 96
by far.
Oh hell yeah! We had a crazy ass a defensive coach, man. That dude, man.
Who was y'all defensive coach? Who was the coach?
I forgot his name. I wish if anybody's when they see this, if they can say who his name, man. That dude was crazy.
What do he look like?
Man.
What do he look like?
Bald head, light skinned dude. He played at Arizona. He was a part of the Arizona Swarm defense. He was. Man, he had to been on steroids back then because he was just manny like Fred. I know Tabiti had hit Fred's helmet off in practice one time. The coach grabbed the helmet and started sprinting like he grabbed the helmet, running down the field. Woo! Yeah! Pop, 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 pop. Headbutting the helmet. Woo! And just, you know what I'm saying? So, like, I'm over there at quarterback. I'm looking at him like, what the fuck is going on? What's wrong with this? But that was his energy, though. That's how he was. And it rubbed off on that defense. It was led by that coach right there. He was a maniac for real life.
That's football in the 90s.
Oh man, yeah, it was beautiful. I loved it. I love man. No other way.
The reason I will go with the 97 defense over that, because if I'm going, hold on. The reason I go with 97 defense over 96 defense, because both of the corners in 97 was better than the corners in 96.
Yeah, nobody threw on us. Nobody.
Yeah, so like Eric E. McGowan was cool, but he wasn't better than Keon at corner. You know, Falco and them at the D line was cool, but Daryl Akins was better. You know, Aquarius was better. That's why I would go.
But D. Akins was on that line too in '96 too. D. Akins was on that line too.
You know, you get better your senior year.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, hell yeah.
So in '97, you're better, right?
Yes.
Like a 97 Fred is better than a 96 Fred.
96 Fred, no doubt about that, for sure.
So that's why I'm like, that defense, and you still got the safeties. You still got Dewey and you still got Jay Webb, right?
Yeah.
So I think
Devlin, like I said, Devlin was creeping in there too. Devlin was in the mix on defense too. So he was a defensive guy during that year. Yeah,
so definitely from a secondary standpoint, you guys are better than the 96 secondary. Right.
I definitely agree. I agree with that for sure. Because honestly, for real, I didn't even see too many balls my way coming at cornerback that year. I wish, I wish I could see the film. I got to see who I scored on in that 96 team. Who did I score on? We only had 6 points. It was my 6th. I'm trying to see who was the corner. I don't remember who the corner was. It might have been my boy Moose, maybe.
No, it wasn't. No, I think. I don't want to say Moose was on JV. I'm not sure if Moose was on JV.
Moose was up there. Moose was playing 96. He was up there.
Okay. But it wasn't Moose because it could have been Eric McCown or it could have been Emac. It could have been Emac, but it was
possibly maybe so. Yeah. Did he have grade? Did he play?
He had, because he played the whole season, because he played like in the playoffs at Merritt. He was talking hella shit. In the playoffs at Merritt. So it could have been him.
Merritt. I remember them games at Merritt.
Hey, so one of the things we want to talk about is you back and you're coaching in the OEL at Skyline basketball. Mm-hmm. What made you choose to be a basketball coach over a football coach?
What we were talking about earlier, I was at McClimate's coaching. So first of all, I had a nonprofit organization in West Oakland who was working with at-risk youth. So I had a chance to come up to Mac and help coach and all that. So I was like, okay, let me coach football. And I'm out there. Pooh was the Pooh was the assistant coach at that time. I was working with the quarterbacks. Like this, maybe we went to like 2 or 3 practices, and I'm like, okay, well, let me see what's up with basketball. Let me talk to the basketball coach and see if I can get in over there. Booz was the coach, and the JV needed help for basketball. So I'm like, okay, this is a better fit. I'm like, football, they got it together. They got their coaches up there. They got their program going. Let me just stick with basketball. And then it just stuck. It just stuck with me. And I'd already been coaching basketball in the summer anyways for, I ain't gonna say AAU, but for at-risk youth program. I had already been doing that anyways, and the kids filtered into my climates anyway. So it kind of was like, you should be doing this anyway. So I'm happy I did it.
How are you getting the young kids to come buy into the Skyline basketball program as a coach? I know you got your son there who's and he's going to be amazing as an athlete. If he pick, I don't know which one he go pick, whatever, right? But how are you getting other players to buy into coming to Skyline for basketball?
Well, it really it's the education point, because same thing that the private schools have. As far as classes, I have at Skyline. We have a Skyline as well. So my son, who'll be a sophomore next year, he's taking 3 AP classes next year. So to me, it's more education than it is basketball. So the same classes you would pay for at a private school, you can take these same classes here at Skyline. Now, if you go to a private school, you're not going to get assistance and help, because they expect you to do this stuff at a private school. You have to pay for a tutor. Where here at Skyline, I have the help. I have programs. I have people that can come in and help show our babies how to get this stuff done and do it the right way. So I have all the resources. I have the structure. I have everything that a private school have, but we have it for free. So to me, and that's my focus, is the education point, because I want guys I can sell first.
So the good point you just said there. So you bringing guys in with the character, knowing that, hey, I need you to take these AP classes, because I'm thinking 1996 low, 1996 DeAndre, we ain't fucking no AP classes, y'all.
Not at all. I'm happy to get a C. Goddamn it,
we ain't fooling with that, right? So it take you to get the parents of some high character kids to know that they coming in, and you being able to sell it to the parents that this is what we're going to do for your kid, and you're going to get the AP classes where you're getting this education as equivalent by taking these AP classes. So it takes a lot of buy-in from the parent to understand that.
Bingo.
Okay.
And then the key thing too, the reason why, so in like for any kid that's on course to go to college, and here's the issue that we have in public schools, is they taking these regular classes. All right, that's cool. But if we have a child who's identified to go to college, he needs to take college preparatory classes.
Right.
And not only that's because a lot of times our kids get to college, but they struggle when they get to college. Mm-hmm. So now with these college preparatory classes, now they're learning how to learn in college. They're learning how to study. They're learning how to, okay, you have a project due in a month. You know, you're gonna know how to do that because you're responsible for getting your grades. So like right now, I'm blessed. I have about eight players on the team right now with over 3.5 GPA. So that right there, I don't have to worry about them on the academic side, because they're academically responsible. See, when you're dealing with kids who struggle, that's when you have to give them that resource and give them the help. And in public school, I have that. So everybody's caught up on this private school, but a lot of times your child might struggle at a private school, and then now you got to come out the pocket. They might give you a 50% scholarship, but you still got to pay. Then you still got to pay for tutoring. And then for basketball, you got to pay for training as well. That's a lot of money that you dishing out. So here at a public school, when you got the right system set up, it can work in a great way. So
the key word to what you said, and I'm glad you're doing it the way you're doing it, is the system, right? Because if a person don't have that system, right, and they just playing kids to be eligible, getting kids to be eligible to play basketball, 9 times out of 10, that kid fall through the cracks. So I'm glad you're putting together that system for them kids. But how difficult was it for you to coach around this COVID as a basketball, keeping your guys together and getting ready for however many games they let y'all play during this COVID season? How difficult have that been?
Very, very difficult. So I would say at the beginning of the school year, we were kind of getting, okay, we're going to have a season, just be ready. So I was doing like Zoom meetings and Zoom workouts with the guys. And then, when they get to the third month, they're kind of like, the hell with this, coach. It's kind of hard to sell them on that when you don't even know yourself. So that was frustrating. So we took a couple months off. Then we got back going in March, and we were able to practice outside. So for me, I stayed in tune with my guys, and we were able to practice outside, stay able to condition and stay able to do things. But as far as my son, we never shut down. We continue to work. We continue to lift. We continue to do things like that. So we maybe shut down for like a month or two when it first hit and everything. But after that, we kept going. But it's hard to get everybody on that same page as far as, because everybody don't have the drive or the energy or the effort that I have or that we putting in over here. You know what I'm saying? So, and I get it and I understand. So I can't force parents or force anybody to make their child come out or anything like that. So, it is what it is.
When do you guys start playing games? When do you guys season start for this?
So today's Thursday, right? Yeah, today's the first day we can officially play. Oakland High, I believe, is playing their first game Saturday. We're playing our first game the 17th, May 17th against Sacred Heart at Skyline High School.
Sacred Heart Cathedral in San Francisco.
Yep. My boy Sean, the head coach.
That's my sleeper pick. That's my sleeper pick.
They're good. They're good this year. They're really good.
When Freddie was there last year, and I got my nephew play. My nephew played for Sacred Heart. My nephew played for Sacred Heart. He played guard for Sacred Heart. That's why I was at a lot of their games last year. But with them, they got a really good team. A lot of them kids play San Francisco Rebels. They just San Francisco Rebel kids that, unfortunate. I mean, the fortunate thing was they were able to get to a private school in the city, because the city is kind of like Oakland with the school district, right?
Yes, horrible.
School district. Balboa is horrible. Burton is horrible. Schools.
Galileo is horrible.
And then the ones that's good, you blocked out because the Asians is taking all of it, getting the spot. So I'm glad that them dudes able to get that education. And they're a really good team. They was real small last year. I want to see how they do this year. They lost their first game to Tampayas.
Oh, they did?
By dub. They lost by 20. They lost by 20 to Tampayas, and they played Sarah. I think they played Sarah today or this week. So I'm gonna check that out. And are you guys able to have fans? That's a game I will pull up for.
Man, not right now. It's gonna change it's gonna change weekly. Right now, there's no fans this week. Possibly next week it can change, or
what
the
about
week after
parents?
next.
Can parents? No parents either.
No, only essential workers. Essential workers. So that's the thing that sucks.
Ken, my rec center badge is not good again.
Yeah, they be like, no media, you can't come in.
Be an assistant coach.
Yeah, man.
I just need somebody badge, man. Or somebody got to get me in a rec center coverage. Got to get some.
Got to be in that one. Yeah. That'd be. But we'll probably play him again next year too. That's my friend, Coach Mackay. Okay. So
that's what's
up,
we'll.
Man. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to them games, man. Glad you guys able to get started. I'm just to get some seniors some play, man. And I know what a lot of the difficult thing that I seen with a lot of people was like, hey, dude, do I even play these games of high school, or do I just play my AAU team that's still running and playing, right?
So we're doing both.
Y'all doing both? Okay, y'all able to do both. So it wasn't
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It wasn't you can't play AAU until after the high school season is over with. You can do both at the same time.
Yep. So the league, the CIF said it was cool, and also for me, my thing is the juniors, they definitely need to get looked at. So if you're playing on a team that's playing in a live periods when college coaches can come look at you. So I also coach with the Soldiers. I coach the 17U team for the Oakland Soldiers. So if you're playing on a team like that, that's going to tournaments where you're going to be playing in front of colleges, for me, I'm okay with that. But if you're going to be playing on teams where nobody's going to be there, no videos being played, no, you're not even playing against decent teams, then I don't recommend you to do that. You should just stay in the lab and work on your game and try to get better. But if you're playing on a circuit team, EYBL team, Team Lillard, something like that, then yes, please go ahead and do your thing, because they have to get their exposure. Right now, they're not able to get looked at, especially as underclassmen. So they need that to get looked at. So I'm not a coach holding them back and hating and like, no, don't do that. You're going to bring back this and bring this. Nah, man, let these kids play. They need to play.
So one of my things I have with the high school coaches nowadays, I'm not saying you do this because your son do both, is some high school coaches not letting kids play both sports, basketball and football, man.
Yeah. That's horrible.
I'm your son player, so you kind of can't do that, right? You can't do it, right? But
no, I wouldn't do it anyways. I wouldn't do it
because
anyways.
You're a two-sport athlete, right?
Exactly. So I want them to do it. And so what I would do, I talk to the football coach, just had the football guys come in once or twice a week where they're just shooting and just working on basketball motor skills. They're not doing anything physical, nothing at all, but they're just coming in, getting some shots, working on some skill set moves and things like that. So when they do transition from football to basketball, it'll be a lot easier and they can make that adjustment a little bit quicker. That's it. But a lot of these coaches are selfish because it's like, okay, well, you need to learn my system. You need to know what we're doing. These guys been in here every day, putting in the work, and then here you. No, if you got a kid that can play multiple sports, that's going to help him get to college. That's the third question college coaches ask. They ask, what's his grades, what's his character, and does he play any other sports? They want to see you play multiple sports. There's college coaches and scouts will come look at you at your off sport and see how you play, how you respond, how you deal with teammates, all that.
That's a good system. You and Joe Bates working together, man. I like Joe. I like
good
Joe
dude.
a lot, man.
Very good dude.
Good dude, man. That you guys able to work together with that because I'd be like, hey, dude, like literally me and my son picking schools, like, damn, man, who gonna let you do both? You can't do this here.
Yeah.
You can't do that here. I'm one of the ones like, hey, bro, I know you play basketball, but I'm looking at me and your mom. The most you might get is 6 feet, right?
Yeah.
You got to be Dame Lillard right now. That's 6 feet, right?
That's 6 feet.
If I can keep you in this sport, you kind of lightweight got some cool little upside at 6 feet. So I'm like, man, I can. Your height go pick what your size go pick what you do for me. So I never want to let another coach make that decision for me. That's why I'm glad you guys got it because I feel some coaches strong arming kids' hand, or even a strong arming the parents' hand. Like, hey, you come here, you can't do both.
Well, peep this situation. It's a coach in the OAL who's winning a lot. He's winning a lot. I think he just won National Coach of the Year for minorities or something like that too. So he has an excellent program on the climates. So it's hard for him to allow his players to play multiple sports when Justin will get that program up to par. But right now, the basketball program is not up to where the football program is at. So him as a coach, why would he allow, and this is how he feels, we've had this conversation, why would he allow his players to go to a program that's not on the level of his program? So, like, in other words, he's sending guys D1. They got a program where they're doing this, that, and the other. And if the basketball program is not doing those things and making guys go to class, then why would he send his guys to downgrade into that? You know what I'm saying?
This is what I would say to that. I do,
and that's in the past. Justin's going to change that, but I'm just saying that's what's been going on in the past.
So this is what I would say to that because I understand his perspective.
Yep.
Perhaps the guys that he's coaching that are acclimated to his program can pull up the basketball program. And
he can't risk that. He can't risk that. These are kids.
I think that's selfish.
These are kids.
Let kids be kids, man. If you want to hoop,
but my thing is this. Yeah. My thing is more so on the athletic side. The system should work across both sports for the whole integrity of the school. So if the football team is doing study hall, they got the SPAT program. The basketball team needs to have that same thing in there.
But they haven't, and that's been the problem.
And that's the issue, right? That's the issue. But if Ken coaches basketball, I coach football. Ken, I want to send my kids to you, but they got too much free time when they come in here. We're gonna work together to put that system together. Hey, my kids are coming to your practice after study hall. Exactly. I don't want to say you can't play. I don't want you can't play this because it is because I don't want. Because then here's the thing, and this is not my climate. This any coach. I talk about what about them kids that don't go D1 in this sport?
That was my second.
They had this chance to go D1 in this other sport, and they didn't ever get that chance, D3, right? Because it's some people that go to. And I talked to Frank Knight about this too, that came to Monroe Catholic to play basketball, but ended up getting a football scholarship at tight end or something, So So I just want to always have that option open
Right.
for kids and let them decide, and not a coach saying, "Hey, if you go do this, you can't play for me." I'll be like, dude, that's kind of lightweight.
But how about
code.
but check, I feel your angle, but check this out. Let's say if you got a program where kids is doing on the straight and straight, on the up and up, and then they go to this program, they're allowing the kids to smoke weed, they're allowing the kids to not go to class, they're not allowed. So now when
if he's smoking weed during basketball season, he's smoking weed during football season.
Okay, we'll give you that one. But now, okay, we'll give you that
Smoking weed ain't seasonal.
It sure is it. But okay, so we'll give you that part right there. But let's just say, okay, you're not holding these kids to go to class. You're not holding these kids to do their homework. They can cut class and it's cool and they're still allowed to play. So now when they get back to your football program, now you got to reprogram them.
No.
That part makes sense.
No. Pooh, we're not saying this because I have no insights on how MAC runs any of its programs. But I'm saying for conversation purposes.
Yeah.
If Pooh is most likely running a year-round program. Most likely.
Well,
I don't know.
So if I let my player go play hoop, I'm still in contact with, like, we still at the school. I still know I can still say, hey, pull up your grades. Hey,
but Ken, so on the being a devil's advocate of that whole thing, it all depends on who that kid is. Now, if I got DeAndre's son that I know is an academic scholar and he plays both sports, I'm not worried about him falling through the cracks during basketball season because he know how to hold himself accountable when he have his parent holding him accountable too, right? So I know he's going to stay ready, right? But the devil's advocate is I can see how both sides of it work. Shout out to we had a guy from that played Anthony Mack. I mean, at Mack. At Mack played both at Mack. But he was a good student too, like 3.8, 4.0 student. So I can understand why he could go play both, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm just the devil's advocate of the whole thing.
I get it, but I'm saying Pooh is on campus year round, or somebody on the football program is there year round.
Yeah, Pooh's there.
Yeah, so even if the kid is playing basketball, you can walk in the gym or after practice and be like, hey, let me see your grades. Or you could still have them do progress reports for you. Just because it's not football season doesn't mean you can't talk to the kid or have access to the kid.
I think what the football coaches might do, and it's not no football coach I know in general, but they kind of like want the sports to make sense with each other, right? So
exactly. That's the best case scenario.
So if you're going to go do the other sport, let it be track. And like most schools I know that have a high school football coach, it's an assistant coach that's on that track team coaching, right? To kind of make it go together, right? Just where you're going to be in shape, you're going to come back faster.
But don't do sports. I mean,
I'm like Dre. I played 3 sports. I just couldn't imagine a coach telling me I can't play one of them.
You would not go to that school, right?
No, I wouldn't have went to that school.
I couldn't.
But like I said, but our era was different anyways, because like our partners play sports with us. They might not even been that good,
right?
But because they are partners, whatever, I'm gonna play hoop too. Right. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go on the football team. So you know what I'm saying? We all did multiple sports, and like that was, you did one sport, you were kind of like,
right? You better dominate.
yeah. I'm talking about.
And guess what? And they did. You got Marcus Malone. One sport dominated.
BP played one sport.
I guess there's pros and cons to it. And now that you put it like that,
it definitely is, man. So I guess people run the program the way they see fit.
I mean, he's successful. He's successful.
I guess you don't have to play there.
They won 1,000 games in a row, so it works.
Sure.
But look at it. Okay, but here's another side to it.
Okay.
And it could be eras. It could be eras. But Beam let D Shaw play hoop. He let Omar play hoop. He let all them dudes, Jarris Bowers Wilkinson played hoop. Jamal Polk played hoop.
Hey,
let them dudes play.
I think it was part of the here we go with that word again, the program in a system, right? And then Beam being on campus, he's on campus himself. He's the PE teacher.
Right.
Yeah,
so
he's on campus.
It's easy for him to walk the campus, see if they don't have off-campus nothing at Skyline. So you like
Beam had access to every player any moment, whenever he wanted.
Anytime he wanted, right?
Anytime.
Hey, listen up. If you hanging out it ain't like tech skin. You can leave anytime you want.
Oakland High,
back,
same
right?
thing.
Yeah, so it's like you Beamer see your ass hanging out, walking down in the bushes. The ones that was messing up like that, didn't even play dual sports, right? The one, see, Clarence, he was cutting the shit. He didn't play another sport. Arthur Young didn't play another sport, right? The ones that played dual sports is the ones we talking about. They got scholarships, Ken.
No, that's my whole point. Is let kids play multiple sports.
No, they didn't get scholarships in basketball. It's just that they already had their system straight education-wise. He didn't have to worry about them grade-wise.
Yeah. When you don't have to worry about a kid academically, that's so wonderful. You know what I mean? Because he's academically responsible. He's going to handle his business. So I think that's a key part of it too.
And I think that's the main thing.
Is it Dre? Is it weird coaching the OAL now after having like played in an era that was so fun? Because when I coached at Madison, it was just like, this is fun. I'm cool, but
so
it ain't the same.
It's not the same. Hey, Eric Coberson, shout out E-Code. E-Code made a good point on Ed Wally's point. He said, they can never recreate the Jamboree because this era would not understand it, because the era that the Jamboree is played in is far gone, and these kids that just look like man. Come on, man. We go to the Jamboree. Shout out to my alma mater, Tech, right? Shout out to Tech, right?
Yeah.
I go to the football game at Tech, and it's different, Ken. It's like a white kid riding a skateboard with an Oakland Tech jacket on, right? They got a band. They got
that's tight though.
They got real fans. You know the Amador Valley fans where you got the shirt off with the spray paint on? They got that shit right now, right? So they'll go there and understand it as being this game. They not understand the emphasis that goes with
it's just in between the lines now.
The turf war part of it. The turf war part of it.
You know what? So that, and now I was going to hit on that. That's the big difference in the OAL. There's a couple of things why it's not the same, but one of the biggest things is the history has been taken away. So, for instance, you go to Tech, that's North Oakland. You know what I'm saying? So all of North Oakland and people that grew up in North Oakland, they behind that. It's history behind that. You go to Mac, that's West Oakland, that's Acorn, that's Ghost Town. So, when they come to the game, you got that environment. When you come to Castlemont, you got the 80s, you got the 70s, you got the hundreds. You know what I'm saying? When you go to Fremont, you got the 50s, you got the Ville. So you got all of this authentic turf stuff. You got this history where I went there, and you know what I'm saying? So that's gone now because everybody's moved away.
Yeah.
So these kids ain't even from turfs no more, really. For real. They click up. They got clicks. So they don't know what it's like to be, from this side and we playing against that side. And all of that, because when we played in Jamboree, man, that was one of the livest things in the town. That was an event for the town.
Livest.
Right.
That was an event. Like, man, we go. And then after, I remember '96 after the Jamboree, we had the dog pound event. That was one of the best nights I ever had. That's I
was just about to say basketball at the lake.
Yep.
Jamboree.
Yep.
The
exactly.
Dog Pound concert.
Man, that was the night. That was
as a teenager.
Yeah, as a teenager. But we was a part of that night because we had the Jamboree. You know what I'm saying? So that was an eventful thing. So, but the turfs and East Oakland and North Oakland and that's out now. It's only a little bit of us left. And these youngsters don't know nothing about that. And then also, too, another big problem is everybody wants to go to O'Dowd, to Legion, and all that stuff. So what we have to do is we got to take half that crowd that wants to go to private school and let them know it's good back at these public schools. So,
well, you got to convince me and Lo, because
that takes a lot of work. Our kids are private school kids.
Are they going to private school now?
Yeah.
When
they've been there their whole life.
They're private. If they've been going to see that's what I'm saying. So you got kids that's been going to Madison, going all these, and then now all of a sudden,
oh no, they can't cut it. Listen to me. And shout out to my daughter. She graduating Holy Names this week, and she's been
congratulations. That's beautiful.
Week, she's going off to college, right?
Yeah.
And one of the things, the conversations she had with her friends, is the conversations are different.
Yes.
Right? It's so many of her friends that end up going public school. that the path is just different, right?
Way different.
The path is different, but she's been private school. I know my daughter, Ken. I couldn't send my own daughter, I couldn't send her to Tech.
Yeah.
I can send her to Tech.
Not my oldest daughter, my youngest daughter I could, but not my oldest daughter.
I can, she not, the Tech too big. Tech is way too many things, way too many distractions, right?
Yeah.
My son, I would have to work. I would have to be a Dre. I got to work at this school you go to, bro, because once you get some, you might be a totally different kid.
Oh no, that game changes. I see it year in and year out. Once these young fellas get them a new girlfriend, they get them some for the first time, they all up on it. I've seen kids. I have a kid right now who played JV last year, got him a girlfriend now, and he's active with her. He doesn't want to play ball no more, and he's been playing ball his whole life.
It's undefeated.
It is. It's like they call it. It's like Aaron. They say
it's undefeated. It's undefeated, man. It ain't lost a battle yet.
Yeah, I see it year in and year out, man.
It's all about knowing your kids. So but then again, it comes from putting together a program, because back in the 90s, Beam didn't have a problem getting kids to come to Skyline.
No, right? Because he had a program.
We had a program, but I also think our parents didn't have the funds that we have now, and I don't think they could really afford.
But you got to look at it. Shout out to Kirk Morrison. Kirk was fucking playing for Kappa in West Oakland, and he found a way.
But O'Dowd only has so many scholarships they can give out to inner city kids that they want to come take their program to the next level.
We didn't entertain. We didn't even entertain it. Ken, is what I'm saying. Like, you was able to. Like, you had
no. The difference, Lo, is you didn't play Pop Warner, so the coaches didn't know about you. Trust me, them coaches went and got Kirk. Kirk didn't just end up.
I had a chance to go to St. Mary's.
But they came and got you though, right?
Yeah, I had a chance to go to full ride, but my goof
that's
ass,
what I'm saying. You didn't play Pop Warner.
But I chose to go to
San Leandro to play with my buddies.
But they wasn't coming to get us in baseball though.
Who? How you think AJ Simmons got there? AJ.
Lo, you 20 years older than AJ.
They came and got AJ from
that's what I'm saying. And you wasn't AJ. AJ was 6'5" when he was 12.
He was
that opens my eyes right there. In a lot of sports.
But like, even so, like Clinton had people leaving St. Joe's, a winning program at St. Joe's. Calvin Criddle left. Brandon Payton left. I mean, not Brandon. Brandon Payton still went to a private school, but Jules left. Right. So they like it depends on the program that's in place. I think because it makes it a lot easier, right? Even at Mac, right? Pooh able to get people to say, you know what? Why would I go to? I'm going to Mac. I'm going to win a state championship. I'm gonna get, whatever my preseason schedule look like, right? Yeah. So it depends on the program. Every kid in Pittsburgh area not going to Daylight South. Pittsburgh High got a good program, right?
Yeah, they do.
You got Liberty and them got good programs right now. That whole little area. So once kids can buy into what your program is like, then it's like, why would I go spend my money at the private school? I might as well save, but. That makes a big difference, like how we do it. It's just that in our community in Oakland, what Dre, what Joe Bates, what Ed, what Putnam got to sell, you got to sell your program, because on the outside looking in, we go look at it like, hey, bro, the Oakland Unified School District is bullshit. I'm not coming to the Oakland Unified. They was out a whole year without computers, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
I might as well go to this school that gave all the kids computers, right?
Oh yeah.
So it's about
I get it.
It's about selling the program academically, I think, and I think you guys doing a good job with that, because you and Joe Bates go turn Skyline around.
Yeah.
But the more so, Justin Stanley's going to turn Mac back around.
Yes,
right?
He will. He's doing it. He's doing a great job.
Correga got his program running at Tech, right?
Yeah, he does.
And he's winning.
Is the OAL back? Is the OAL back?
Not yet. If we can get this for basketball, it's a good middle school group. This the 7th and 8th graders. That's in middle school right now. If we can get 50% of those top players to come to the OAL schools, it will be back in the future.
Well, everybody can't go private school. It's not enough.
That's the problem.
So the kids not letting them get to them outside schools that's not private schools, right? The San Leandro, San Lorenzo's.
These parents are so sold. So you're not the only ones who feel that way. before I had the opportunity to coach at Skyline, I was just with you. I was with you guys. Like my son was on his way to a private school. He was on his way, but I seen like it had to make sense for me academic wise
So
because for me to talk
wise, right?
Yeah, because in order for me to talk to a parent, I gotta believe in it too. So, like I said, I got my son doing this stuff. So, and I see it. My daughter went to St. Mary's. She's about to graduate from UNLV now, but she went to St. Mary's. So I seen that the curriculum and all that stuff up there. They not taking that. They don't give a damn who you are, what you doing. None of that. They need that money every month. Run that chop. Period. I don't care what you're doing for the school, how you doing it. We need that money. So that's what is more so in there. But yes, in that private school, they're getting introduced to things that they wouldn't be introduced to in the public school. But if you have the right setting and if you have the right support group, they can still get it. You know what I'm saying? Like my son's friends are private school friends. I can say that. I can say something like I can say it like that. So he's still around those type of things. He's just going to a public school. But education wise, I'm allowing him and other students that's playing with him to get introduced to honor classes, AP classes, summer school. You guys need to be doing dual studies to where you're taking classes in college as well and high school credits. So when you get to college, you already have college credits. So like these are the kind of conversations I'm having and talking to our guys about. So
and that's the way you sell the education portion of it. But just to finish naming off who I don't know who the coach at Fremont can, but then they got
is it Scott? Is Scott Alexander still the coach at Fremont? Or
Scott's the basketball coach, Amari Murphy's the football coach.
So go ahead.
Castlemont, just because we named the rest of the coaches. Coach is it McCullough? D McCullough over at Castlemont. He's back.
D Mac went to Castlemont, went to Fresno State. So right now, all the OAL coaches played in the OAL, except for Orlando.
That was my next question. As I look at all the coaches in the OAL on the basketball side, is this the best group, like as a whole? Like you always had Clint and Coach Mo, and then you know what I'm saying? But as a whole, is this the
I think so. We all have respect for each other. We all have respect. We all have love. So, those coaches back then was feuding and funking and beat, you know what I'm saying? We all got love and respect for each other because I think that's going to help the league grow because college coach is going to call me about an Ohio player. College coach is going to call Orlando about a Skyline player. College coach will call Prager about Castlemont player. So we all need to be spitting positive and real vibes to pump this league back up. And I believe all of us have that respect with each other and we all have that OAL drive. Like we know what it's like and we know what it takes and we know what the OAL is about.
Who is the best player as a coach of all the OAL coaches right now? Who is the best player?
D-Mac went the furthest. I would probably say him, but of course I'm going to say myself for sure. But D-Mac went to Fresno State and played pro ball too.
Hey Ken, but the starting five. That's a good starting five, right?
And it would be. I don't know, but I don't know.
What's three guards?
I don't know if Orlando can play for Oakland High. I don't know.
So this is what I'm gonna say. He can play.
Okay.
But he's definitely a role player. But he can play. He can play.
Coach Gray?
Yeah. No. Coach Watkins.
No, Watkins.
Yeah. He can play. He can play.
Yeah, but he can coach you guys. I let him coach y'all. We take Jackson Stanley, Correga, D-Mac, you. Yeah. And Scott, that's a good coaching five. One of the things I would say about y'all five, and the thing that I like is because you guys all learned the game after y'all left high school, after y'all learned the game, right? So one of the things that what coaches don't like to adapt their shit, right? You talking about how you guys had all these athletes at Fremont when you was there, but we 31 diving, 32 diving it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't send my son, if my son, any kid, any parent listen to this, don't let no coach tell you your son is a fullback.
Exactly.
College coaches do not use fullbacks no more. He's not getting a scholarship. They're going to move him out for a quicker guy that has the same size, and they're going to name him an H-back.
The game changed. The game has changed now.
And I think coaches got to change with the game, right? So
you have to.
No H-backs, no. And I think that goes with learning more, though. Be more not stuck in your ways because that 31, 32, who's running a wishbone offense right now?
If you're not in a spread offense right now and doing all you need all the bells and whistles and all that spread, speed, receive, if you're not doing that right now, you behind, because they doing that in Pop Warner now. You know what I'm saying? They doing that in the Snoop League and all that.
Everything.
So So if you still wing T and I formation,
listen to me. Put
Wait,
my son.
ain't De La still running the veer?
But but hold on, but Ken, they throwing the ball a lot more though, because they quarterback got a D1 scholarship, they receiver going D1. Hearns, the quarterback last name is Hale. They going D1s now, right? And the running backs are not, right? I know Garrett from De La went to San Jose State, but he's over on the defense side, right? So if you're gonna do this, make sure my kid plays some defense too, because they not coming to get these fullbacks no more, man.
Nah, not at all. Not at all.
We at the 2-hour mark. Dre, give us some words to send us up out of here, man.
Oh man, just like I said, I love what you guys doing. This is a beautiful platform for us old heads to sit up here and talk, reminisce about the old days, and just a beautiful thing, man. You guys keep doing what you're doing.
Appreciate it, man. Who do you want to see on the show, Dre? Whose story do you want to hear?
Joe B, my boy Joe Barker.
Joe Barker, okay. Joe Barker, got to get him.
He's out here too, yeah. Joe B, he has a very interesting story to tell too. Hook is on. If you're ever looking for Hook, he's down. He's in the bottoms. He's right down.
I don't think we can have a show without Hook.
Yeah,
without a Hook episode.
He definitely has.
Hey, you know what, Ken? I'm gonna see if we can get that, man, because we want to hear Hook's story and give him his flowers, man. Because not recently, Hook passed away. Everybody thought he died, right?
Yeah.
Everybody gave him his flowers after they heard the news that he died, right?
Yeah.
Let's get this man his flowers while he's still here and can enjoy him himself, man. I would love to. I used to see him a lot in West Oakland. I would love to get a Hook story, man. That had to be an in-person interview, though, Ken.
We could do it. We got the studio.
Trying to work a Zoom. Hook trying to work Zoom and all that.
Yeah, that'll be it.
It got to be in person.
We can do it in person. We got the studio access. We'll be good.
Yeah, man.
But he has an amazing story to tell, man. It's sad and we got to do better in our culture and our environment and everything, because that's a story where he should have went to the league, but because he grew up in the dope era, the drugs and shit got the best of him, and that was because of his circle more so than him. He got introduced to that shit at a young age, man, and it was really messed up. But I let him tell his story, man. That's my brother, man. I love Hook to death, and man, if y'all get a chance to talk to him, he definitely got a great story to tell for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Man.
So
good
Coach
luck on this season too, though.
We need to hook up with Hook. We gotta I don't think we can have a show without a Hook episode.
Yeah, definitely.
Good luck on your season, Coach Dre, man. One thing, get some fans back in, let me know, man. I want to pull up and watch it, man.
I am. Let y'all know. Y'all can use y'all badge too. So y'all can get that.
Man,
that media.
It only works.
Do you really got a badge though? Oh, do you really have a badge?
I had a badge. Coach Ed gave me a badge, right? It's an OEL badge, right? And I went into the game, and I'm like, hey, I'm in the Rec Center media. It's a media badge, okay? I'm like, hey, this is my OEL Rec Center badge, and they let me straight through. It wasn't no
right there, front center.
Oh, wow.
Only I came through. Shout out to Coach Ed for plugging me with that. But
I love what Coach Ed
doing. It only
doing.
worked in the OEL, Ken, because when I went over,
we'll start there.
When I went to the other league, they went, hey, what bag is this? Where your camera at? You don't even got a camera.
Who are you again? What
you even got a camera,
We're gonna start with the OEL.
Hey, man, but appreciate you coming on, Dre, man.
Right on, man. Thank you guys for sure, man.
All right, have a good one.
All right, y'all have a great one. All right.
Ken, we gotta let our audience know we don't be planning our color scheme. Like we both got on red today.
Oh, shit.
We both had on blue last day. The other day we didn't plan this.
I didn't even notice.
Right.
That's
we
crazy.
didn't plan it, man. But shout out to Dre, man. Good episode, man, on Dre. And I know you didn't see too much of Dre, Ken.
Just Sports Focus. I remember seeing him on Sports Focus and stuff.
He was a dog. He had the attitude, man. Was undersized, man, but played lights out, man, all the time, man. He kind of did keep that FREMONT definitely on the basketball side going. It was more entertaining. Football side, the injury, the physical. I just learned about the physical story. Can't wait till this episode drop. I want to see what Eric Coverson got to say about the about the no physical. I know E. Cole gonna say that have nothing to do with us, man. That's whose fault is that, right? So shout out to DeAndre, man.
Yeah, we gotta one day when I'm back in the Bay, we gotta get a bunch of the Fremont guys together and just debate who had the best team. That's gonna be a hell of an episode.
We need someone that didn't play on both teams, though.
Right?
You get what I'm saying? We need someone from '96 that didn't play on '97 team, and we need someone from '97 that didn't play on '98, right?
Yeah.
Or we need someone just to be flat out honest and say, man, my team, my year, because everyone said it by the year they graduated, right? So DeAndre, class of '97 would have won, right? Armand Wainwright. I think Wainwright said 95.
I can't remember what he said.
No, I think he said whichever one he said wasn't his year. Because I think you was 98, but he like
I say 98.
He liked the other one. But Clint don't even got 98 in the top two, and he's the coach of both teams. But
95 and 99 both.
He could be biased of the ones that went to state. That's the biased one. Coach Edwards is gonna say us and Marshawn, we the two that went to the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, because 95 played Shea Cotton, but that 99 team, the modern day team, they wasn't weak. Like they had pros. They didn't have nobody like Shea Cotton, but they had some future pros on that team too.
They just got it done. That's the Fremont team. That 99 team just found a way to get it done. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, they not as tall as 95 and 98 or 97. Like 98 was tall. Right, 97 was tall.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of the Rec Center podcast. We want to thank our guest, DeAndre Perteete, for sharing a little time with us. Make sure you guys subscribe. Take time to subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Rec Center. Also follow us on Instagram at The Rec Center Podcast. I'm Kenny Edwards for Lorenzo Parham.